Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. This fight is phenomenal. It's a short notice fight, so maybe you can look back and say, they shouldn't have done that, whatever. But for a short notice fight, this is just a fucking great gift. These are two of the most exciting, well, I don't even know if you'd call Daniel Rodriguez exciting, but two of the most exciting prospects in the division. Again, I don't even know if you'd call Kevin Holland a welterweight. But regardless, this fight is being held at 180 because this fight warrants a catch weight. These guys took this fight on very short notice. D-Rod said he was sitting on a couch, I think, 2 weeks ago. So, balls of steel from both guys. But they took this fight, and I hope it's a good one. And if these guys, if they come to fight, which I think they will, you know, if they're in shape enough, it's going to be an awesome fight. Kevin Holland is a guy with deceptively good power. Deceptively good power. And deceptively, I don't even want to say, you know, deceptively good wrestling defense, I want to say. Not even like it's good, but the fact that it's considered so bad, it's a little overrated. Underrated, I should say, because his losses come from big middleweights. Daniel Rodriguez is not going to be able to impose a wrestling game plan like we saw from Vettori and Brunson and even Kyle Dalkos and Brendan Allen, you know, who submitted him. And Kevin Holland, he's, you know, his jiu-jitsu's failed him at middleweight a few times. I don't know if you count the Kyle Dalkos fight, but Brendan Allen and Rafael Lovato Jr. early on in his career, no shame in that. Even no shame in Brendan Allen. That's a very good grappler there. But his jiu-jitsu's failed him a few times, but I really think he's, you know, if I had to go with one guy getting a submission at this weight with this matchup, I'm going with Kevin Holland. And Daniel Rodriguez is a guy who I think, you know, he's got underrated jiu-jitsu himself. I think he's a brown belt, and that debut against Tim Means, what a debut. Like, that's, when that happened, I remember thinking, like, was this a fluke? Is Tim Means shot as a fighter or whatever? But Daniel Rodriguez has really done very well. I don't know his exact record, but I think he's 6-1, if not 7-1 in the UFC. And the one loss is a razor-close decision to Dalby, Nicholas Dalby. A fight in which I feel like I'm the only guy who thought Dalby won. I don't know. But anyway, Daniel Rodriguez has a path to victory here in this fight, no doubt about it. And it's outstriking Kevin Holland, and doing it, I think, as a counter striker, a counter volume striker, if that even exists. I like Daniel Rodriguez's volume. I love his boxing overall. You know, I can't say much about his kicks. He's thrown kicks, I think, right? I don't know. But I like his yeah, he's thrown kicks. I like his boxing overall. I am a little worried about his chin, I've got to be honest. He's never been finished, but he's been cracked a few times. That Dwight Grant fight, he was rocked. I thought he was on his way to getting finished. And again, I think Kevin Holland's got deceptively strong power at welterweight or middleweight or 180 or whatever. But certainly against welterweights, it should shine more. It should have the capacity to shine more. And it's already shown, that's the right word, against good fighters like fucking Jeff Neal. That was awesome. That was outside the UFC, but it's a win that's gotten fucking so much better with age. So, Kevin Holland, I do think, you know, he's got enough physical advantages where he could make he should be able to make his power work for him, fighting on the outside. Not that he's able to fight like Semi Schilt or whatever, where he's, you know, Mr. Long guy, but he is long, and he's an accurate puncher. He knows how to set up his hooks, and he's not afraid of getting in either. I just think, getting in, you know, it's a question of him hurting D-Rod or not, because D-Rod is really good on the back foot. He's good in the pocket, and I think he's, you know, who knows what kind of shape they're showing up in, but you have to assume they're going to show up in fight shape, and he's able to fight. I'm sure he's able to fart hard for 3 rounds, but he's able to fight hard for 3 rounds, Daniel Rodriguez, and Kevin Holland too. So there's a chance this is a very good fight. I do think Kevin Holland has a tendency to look sloppy, to be made to look sloppy, I should say, on his feet. And Daniel Rodriguez is a guy who could make that happen. That's really his path to victory. Not only landing the shots, but optically making Kevin Holland look a little sloppy. And speaking of optics, if Kevin Holland goes for any of his horseshit gamesmanship, then, you know, he deserves to lose this fight. Because when he was playing games, whatever, last year, 2 years ago, it was when he was fighting big guys that were holding him down. And I felt like it was kind of like a defense mechanism or something, where, whatever. See, I didn't really lose. I just got held down or whatever. But there shouldn't be any of that, so there should be no, you know, room for that shit. And I don't mind any of the games or whatever. I'm just saying putting yourself in a disadvantage, or keeping yourself in a disadvantageous position and acting like you're fine with it. I see this fight being a fight where both guys are, you know, always fighting hard. You know, I don't see that lapse in judgment here from Kevin Holland in this one, because he's not going to be smothered by D-Rod and held down. Grappling-wise, it is interesting. I could see Kevin Holland submitting Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez has underrated jiu-jitsu. Kevin Holland, you might even say, has overrated jiu-jitsu. I don't know. But his submission losses have come from really good guys, and he's got a great active guard and all kinds of submissions. What he had, the Darce on Cowboy Oliveira. But that was his last fight, I think. He's deadly everywhere, but I do think, much like, you know, if Nate Diaz was to win against Hamzat, which, not saying that'll happen, but Kevin Holland more than likely is going to hurt Daniel Rodriguez before submitting him. I think his hands are going to play a role in one way or another. That's why my bet for this fight, my prediction, I guess, I'm going to go with Kevin Holland being the first person to put Daniel Rodriguez away. Doesn't mean I have no faith in decision. I'm just kind of going with my gut here. Kevin Holland gets it done. I did bet on that, but I didn't bet on, you know, the form. The finish is plus 130. And Daniel Rodriguez, I bet on winning a decision at plus 400. I think if they fight for 15 minutes on the feet, I know D-Rod's going to have success. And if he's not hurt too badly, because, you know, I'm a big proponent of power can win decisions, which is whatever. You know, seems like a new notion, but power can win decisions, and I do expect Kevin Holland's chances to go up, because I think it'll be evident that he's the more powerful striker, and he's hurting Daniel with singular strikes. But Daniel is a good volume striker. He's got good cardio typically in a regular fight, and he's got really good hands, really good boxing, really accurate punches, mixes it up, and he's not that outsized where he's going to be overwhelmed physically in this one, or where, you know, he should be. I'm betting on him being, but it's not something that I'm sure of. You know, Daniel Rodriguez is a guy who, you know, I find myself doubting him here, but there's no great reason to doubt him here, you know, his toughness anyway. So, in a technical fight, if you think it goes to decision, I think D-Rod at plus 400 is significantly undervalued. Significantly, you know, and that's to say he is, his money line is as well, but putting Kevin Holland away is a pretty tall order, and I don't think he's got it in him, but a decision is his path here, plus 400. Alright, that's pretty much it for this fight. Next up will be Renny Aldana versus Macy Chiasson. Please tune in, because I promise you I'm going to kill somebody in the next video. You want to see a death? I'm going to kill somebody. I might, anyway. Tune in to find out. Renny Aldana versus Macy Chiasson. See you in about 2 seconds.